What's up, you fucking weirdos? What's up, you fucking weirdos? Welcome to where the weird ones are.
Yeah. Weird ones only, we talking that truth. Ghost in the attic, yeah, show me the proof. Aliens creeping, they light in the roof. Minds wide open, we shatter the booth. Conspiracies deep, we dig in the scars. Demons and angels and bodies on Mars. Cryptids be watching, they lurk in the dark. Mental on edge, but we glowing like stars. Welcome to the pod, no cap, it's a seance. Whispers in the static, spirits doing dance. Reptiles in suits, yeah, running the lands. MK Ultra made a puppet of your mans. Wendigo hunger, dogman strut, flat woods, eyes glow. Slice through the cut, Bigfoot tagging trees. Marking the trail, weird ones ride, no room for the frail. Talking about trauma, talking that soul. Peeling back layers, we digging a hole. Sacred geometry, numbers align. Ancestors speak through the veil and the sign. Ayahuasca dreams, third eye lit. Shadow self lurking, we making it spit. No mainstream lies. This the dirt where the weird ones rise from the blood and the hurt. Weird ones only, we talking that truth. Ghosts in the attic, yeah, show me the proof. Aliens creeping, they light in the roof. Minds wide open, we shatter the booth. Conspiracies deep, we dig in the scars. Demons and angels and bodies on Mars. Cryptids be watching, they lurk in the dark. Mental on edge, but we glowing like stars. Voices in the woods got chills on the neck. Black-eyed kids at the door, now we check. CIA tapped in, fluoride drip. Project Bluebeam, watch that script. Talking about grief, talking about fear. Talking about why them voices appear. Healing the mind while breaking the chain. Spiritual warfare deep in the brain. We don't run from the strange, we live in the strange. Tattoo the truth in the scars and the pain. Stay weird, the mantra we own in the name. Reality bent, so we bend to the same. From the attic to the swamp, we tracking the freak. Where the veil get thin and the silence speak. We ain't your norm, we off that grid. Weird as the wave, yo, this where we live.
Would you like to hear a story?
Hello everyone, it's Connie over on the YouTube channel Talk Spooky to Me, and currently you are listening to Kevin from Where the Weird Ones Are. Enjoy!
What's up, you fucking weirdos? Welcome to another episode of Where the Weird Ones Are. My name is Kevin, but you probably already knew that, and if you didn't, now you do. Today's episode is with my good buddy, one of my bestest friends of all time, Tommy Cullum, the man, the myth, the legend out of the UK. Um, his podcast is Let's Get Freaky, and it's very similar to this one. So if you haven't checked it out, you probably should. He's got way more episodes than I do. We started right around the same time. We became friends pretty early on in our podcast journey, and it's amazing to still be able to have this kind of connection. Um, he's an amazing dude. There's not a whole lot that I can really say other than that. Like that just takes that pretty much sums it up. He's an amazing person, and I really enjoy being friends with him, and I feel blessed to be able to share this space with someone like him, just because he's such a genuine, um, friendly person, you know? So shout out to the sponsor, Flavors of the Forest, raw garlic dust. If you guys want some, you wanna try it, you'll probably end up wanting to live in it and have it for the rest of your life on everything. Definitely go order yourself some at flavorsforest.com. You can also follow them at flavorsforest on Instagram. And yeah, you're gonna fall in love, I promise. They got a bunch of other flavors, but you want to season your meat with this garlic. You don't want to be using the shit from the fucking store. I'm telling you that right meow. Recently I was on Midwest Mythos. It was more just like a fun hang. We kind of like discuss conspiracies a little bit, but I do want to throw this out there. I am making an indie film, a found footage movie, which is going to be starring the lovely lady that was just on a minute ago telling you that you're listening to me on Where the Weird Ones Are. Mrs. Connie Eastman. She's an amazing person. Love her to death. Um, She has a YouTube channel called Talk Spooky to Me. She also is on all podcast platforms as well. Um, so you should definitely check it out. But so I'm really excited to get this movie going, and I'm gonna be starting a crowd fund to try and secure a location because we're gonna need a mansion manor kind of area. So it's found footage about a haunted house, about a paranormal investigators that investigate a haunted house. So yeah, I think it'll be worth checking out. We'll probably be able to have that fully finished by January of 2027. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. Um, still, and depending on how crowdfunding goes, maybe we'll be able to even film during the summer. Because originally I was gonna film in September, just because I feel like it's gonna take a long time to figure out a location. But if I find a location within the next like month or two, maybe pop and depending on how crowdfunding goes and all that shit, possibly could be looking at like late July, maybe August filming and possibly even have the movie done and edited and stuff like that for October for release. So it's probably going to be released on um I might even release it on a festival at a festival, which I know there's one coming to Portland, Maine in October. I don't know. There's a whole lot up in the air. Either way, it'll be done by by January of 2027. So I'm looking forward to that. And then as soon as I get this movie done, I'm gonna be working on another movie that I know that I can do on my own. Just to like put get my name out there, and stuff like that. So I'm excited. There's a lot of things happening. Um, and I just hope I don't end up getting into one of those like um modes of like I'm not good enough kind of thing and then end up trashing it. You know what I mean? Because then I self sabotage so fucking much all the time. I always get this like imposter syndrome kind of thing where I'm just like the good things aren't meant for me. You know what I mean? So um but I think I'm too excited for about this for that to happen. So anyways, if you are experiencing any kind of mental distress, please here in the United States dial 988 or text. That is the mental health suicide crisis hotline. Um, you don't know the hole that you will be leaving behind because all you're doing is transferring trauma. And I know that you don't want to do that. You have no idea how many people your absence is going to affect. Um, my I talked about it in many episodes ago. My daughter's best friend's mother decided to go that route, and not only did it affect, her husband and her two daughters, it also affected her granddaughter, who is still an infant. It affected my daughter. Um, it affected me because I knew her a little bit. Um, and my ex-wife was pretty good friends with her, so, and then obviously, her entire family, her parents and all that shit, so listen, I know that, things can seem bleak, but there's always a brighter day, man. And, a lot of people out there will be like, "Well, sometimes it just lasts for it doesn't seem like it's gonna get any better." Or, "I've been feeling like this for years now." If that were true, there wouldn't be any pictures of you smiling. You wouldn't have a good time ever. I know I know that you do. I know that you experience temporary happiness. Everybody does. A lot of people experience temporary depression. Everybody experiences depression, is what I meant to say. Everybody. We're not alone. I'm not alone. You're not alone. So if you need help, please utilize the number 988. They are equipped to help you. If you need to help somebody else, they can also give you the resources to help somebody else as well. If you need somebody to talk to, definitely reach out to me where the weird ones are at gmail.com. Also, hit me up on there if you want to be on the show and tell your spooky stories or talk about mental health. We can talk about your mental health struggles right here on the show. Um, talk about your trials and tribulations, your testimony, if you will, and maybe your story will help somebody else out there who's struggling. So again, stay another day. There's a lot of people out here rooting for you, and I'm one of them. So without further ado, we're going to get into this episode with Tommy. We do talk about it a little bit, but I want to let you guys know that I'm probably going to be stepping away from politics. I don't really think I talk about politics a whole lot, to be honest with you, but I just want to provide more of a space away from it, just because it's like constantly in your face, and I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I just want to be able to just have regular conversations without bringing really politics. And I know conspiracies we kind of go that route. So, um, but yeah. So, um, more to come. I will keep you guys updated about the movie. If you're interested in being updated, that is. If you're not, you're probably still going to get updated anyway. And then as soon as I know what platforms it's gonna come out on, I do believe I'm gonna put it out on my Patreon. I did delete my Patreon. Um, I just wanted to rebuild it and stuff like that, and make it make it cheaper for the regular stuff. So I felt like I was starting to feel like $5 was a little bit too much on the Patreon. But I'm rambling now, and I'm gonna keep rambling if I don't shut this fucking recording off. So, all right, let's get into this show with my good buddy Tommy Cullum from the Let's Get Freaky podcast. You should definitely check it out. All right, let's go. Where the Weird Ones Go Productions.
Time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Where the Weird Ones Are. So happy to have you here. I have a fantastic guest, one of my good friends, the man, the myth, the legend, Tommy Cullum from Let's Get Freaky podcast. Wah, 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 wah.
Kevin, my brother, it is a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, man. I mean, as we were
Absolutely.
saying before, we kind of started this at the same time, and I love you, brother. I really don't know I'm saying it already, but I love you, man. You're a legend. You're such a cool dude. You meet a lot of cool people doing podcasting, which is great.
Oh
And
my
you're
God, yeah.
one of the first for me. So I love you, man. So thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for having me back.
I love you too, man. When I was looking for people to start the new year and stuff and start scheduling that, because I took a couple weeks off of recording. David even did an episode for me just to give me time, and then I think 1 week I didn't have an episode. But when I was like looking into like getting the 2026 started, I was like, I have to talk to Tom. I have to.
Thank you,
And
man.
maybe I should make it more of a point to talk to him a little bit more than I do, but it is what it is.
Well, we were
At
saying
this
before,
moment.
life just goes so quick. I don't know if it's getting older. I don't know why it is, but it feels like the weeks feel like a day now. Like it's like it's Friday and then it's Friday again. You're like, how is it Friday again? You know, it's
Mhm.
it's just flying. And most people were saying that as well. I know as you get older, that's what people say. But when I was younger, a day felt like forever. now it's like a day is nothing. Yeah. So
It really is. I've been contemplating my life a lot lately too, and I'm just like every day I'm like, man, I gotta do something. I gotta make something big happen. I gotta fucking like I can't keep working. This freaking job is killing me, and this and that, and every day I'm just I don't know. I'm trying to figure something else out, and which is why I wrote my books because I'm trying to do
yeah,
that,
man.
and then oh, I don't know if I told you, but I'm starting a production on a movie, my
I
own
saw that.
movie.
I saw that on the gram earlier on. Yes, man.
I don't, dude, this is so weird because I was just telling my friend Rachel, I go through like these wicked depressive moments, and sometimes it'll be a week, sometimes it'll be a day, sometimes it'll be a couple weeks or just a couple days. Either way, when the day that I come out of it, I have like this weird epiphany of some kind of idea of something. And this movie is what came out of it. And it took me 2 seconds. I was like, I want to do a found footage film because I know that I can do that on my own without a studio, you know? And because I wrote a script for a big time studio, and we'll see if anything happens with that. But
Ooh.
I was like, I know that I can pull off a found footage film because you're just recording with regular recording stuff. You don't need really any movie magic necessarily and stuff like that. And then I came up with the idea. I was like, well, what is it going to be about? I'm not going to do monsters or anything like that because then that'll involve costumes and shit like that. So I'm going to do paranormal. So that's what I'm doing. It's going to be a paranormal found footage kind of thing. And then I immediately
Right.
thought of my friend Connie, who wanted to be an actress long before she had children, and she actually auditioned for movies and everything like that back in the day. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna see if she'll be the lead actress, and she agreed. So
Bro, let's go. That's sick, man. Do you need a redheaded dude at any moment in the film?
yes, I do.
I'm coming over, brother.
I haven't announced it yet because she still hasn't sent me her headshot, but Zoe's gonna be in it too.
What? Oh, awesome, man. Bro.
Yeah.
See, you're doing it, man. You're doing all these amazing things. It's incredible. It's so
weird.
cool.
Yeah, the cool thing, like you were just saying, like, the minute we started recording, is the people that we meet on this journey. You know, first of all, Zoe and my friend Connie, I would have never met if I wasn't doing this.
Yeah.
And then when I announced that I was doing a movie, I had so many people reaching out and being like, what do you need help? You know, I'll edit, I'll do this. You know, I can do sound, I can do makeup, I can do blah, 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 you know, stuff like that. And I'm just like, man, this is the weirdest thing to just that
So cool.
people automatically are reaching out and being like, is there anything that I can do to help?
That's amazing, man.
It really is. It really
is. It's very exciting. It's very exciting. But this is probably why the days feel like they're going so quick, because you're very busy. There's a lot going on there. There's books, podcasts, films. You got the sauce. There's so much there, man. There's so much.
I wish I was a little bit better about the sauce. The hot sauce, to be honest with you. Like, I don't market it very well. I'm just like, hey, it's there, you know.
That looks amazing, bro. It's cool to watch. I love what you're doing, man. I love to see it. It is so cool, and seeing it grow and grow and grow, and that's what it's all about, man. I love it.
Yeah.
So I want to be in the film, if you don't mind. I'll do any. I'll be an extra in the background. Anything.
You can be a ghost.
I've been in a film before. I've been in a film. Yeah. Have you seen The Firm?
The Firm?
Not the Tom Cruise Firm. There's a film called The Firm. It's made by Nick Love, and it's. Have you seen The Football Factory? It's like a football hooligan film, and it's made by the same director that did that. And I used to love The Football Factory when I was younger, and he came to our university at the time and asked for like actors to come in and pretend to be a football hooligan, basically. And I'm in this like nightclub scene, And you see me a few times. I'm only like an extra in the background. But I went to the cinema with like my brother and my dad to watch it, and I was like, "It's me!" And I just see my big head on the cinema screen, just dancing away in the background of this nightclub scene. So yeah, I've done films, man. I can be in a.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I was gonna ask you if I could use your name and your likeness for a character in my book.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. I'd be honored, man. Absolutely, yeah.
Dope. Because I was just gonna do it. I was like, he won't mind.
Man. No,
He's not
absolutely, man.
he's not gonna care. I'm just gonna do it anyway. But yeah, so with my books, I've been putting my friends in it. So I got Ron
awesome,
in
man.
it. Ron's in it. David's in it. My friend Rachel's in it. My friend
Oh,
Connie,
man.
who's gonna be in the movie, is in the book.
Yeah.
So
Awesome,
it's really fun.
brother.
It's fun stuff. What do you have going on, man? I know we're talking a lot about me right now.
Kind of boring. I mean, I'm making no films, bro. I'm not writing no books. I'm just podcasting, really. You know, I'm just still doing the podcast and enjoying that. And that's it, really, man. I'm still. There is other stuff I'd like to do as well. I'd like to start making like documentaries. I haven't done that yet, but I'm in the mindset of thinking about what I could maybe do, and I want to start visiting locations around the UK, haunted locations, and then the US. I'd love to get over to the US and start exploring and visiting some places there and documenting it and making some documentaries, maybe meeting some guests and, can show me where the locations that we've talked about on certain episodes and stuff. I'd love to do that. That's kind of something that I'd like to do in the hopefully near future as well. So, but yeah, man,
that'd be cool. That would be really cool, man.
I just want to get to the US, bro. I just want to live in the US. I'm just desperate to get over there. It's getting worse over here, man. I need to get over there soon.
What's going on over there?
Well, I mean, I know I don't want to get into the politics.
Yeah,
we can get into the politics. I think
we can. I'm trying to get away from it. I'm kind of sick of it.
Yeah, I know.
To be honest with
I'm
you,
with
but
you.
like,
I'm with you because
I'm just like I'll talk about it, and then people get upset when I talk about it because of my opinion. There's at least one person, and then I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna and because I'm sick of hearing it too, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I think I'm gonna just from now on, I'm just gonna focus on the ghost stuff. Really, I mean, obviously, every once in a while, there's probably going to be a conspiracy episode, which politics usually intertwines with conspiracies because a lot of times government is involved.
Has to,
So, so I think I would prefer more of a break from politics. Like when people listen and or watch this, it's more of like a break from the bullshit, really. But if you want to talk about it,
I don't like the politics because you're always going to upset 50% of your audience. You know, they're always going to upset someone, and I never really understand that because I think it's just an opinion. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's got, I don't like the left and right thing either. I hate that. I think that's pathetic, to be honest. Like, I think all politicians are corrupt, in my opinion. I don't think there's any of them out there that are like really good, squeaky clean, trustworthy people. And I don't really think they're in charge. I know, that you can say that's conspiracy. I think there's people above the guys that we see. They're like the puppets, I believe. I really do. I think it's, especially in the UK, I think that our leader in the UK right now is definitely not in charge, but, and he's making things very difficult for people. But yeah, I mean, I don't like politics. I hate that we have to kind of look at politics. I feel like you're sort of not given a choice anymore because they're becoming such a big part of our life and our world. We see it everywhere, and it's literally in front of us all the time. So it's hard to get away from it. But yeah, man, let's not talk about politics.
the only thing
I don't like any of them.
Yeah, me neither, to be honest with you. I've said it 100 fucking times on this podcast. My views and my opinions mainly are right. So like technically I'm conservative. Like if I had to put a label on it, I'm conservative. But I'm not Republican because I vote on policy, not who the fucking person is. So if a Democrat happens to have a better policy that I more align with, I will vote Democrat. You know what I mean? So I
Absolutely.
vote both. I vote both ways, and I've made that very clear 100 times on this podcast. And to everybody around, but especially Facebook, like people on my Facebook, they fucking don't listen. And as soon as I say something, they're like, calling me a Trump lover and this and that, and I was like, I don't even fucking like him at all. Like, like you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about him. And then, the Epstein files dropped. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
We got some of your politicians over here, and that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So,
I mean that's part of the problem. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
So, and then MAGA's like, oh, Trump was a whistleblower. He's not even technically had anything to do with it. And I'm just like, he's not a whistleblower. He called the cops after Epstein was arrested and was like, thank you for arresting him. We all knew what he was doing. I was like, they all knew. He's like literally says that we all knew what he was doing. We all.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say something? Why are you waiting until he's arrested to say something? You know, it's just so I don't know.
It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild, and it's kind of strange how we're learning some really dark things, obviously, and we kind of in the world that we're in, we kind of knew. Not you can't say we knew it, but there was whispers, and there were some names that we knew, and there were some things that we knew about. So it wasn't as shocking for probably guys like us. But the fact that the world is not like stopping and saying, hang on, what the heck is going on? Why we can't let this happen? We can't let this happen again. And apparently there's more Epsteins out there. It wasn't just one. There's probably loads out there, that are getting away with it, and it's sick, man. And the people that kind of protected or not protected but didn't speak out, they're just as bad, really, because they knew what they were hiding. And, I'd like to think that we would come out and say something straight away if we're in that situation, If you went to that island by mistake, for example, which I guess that could happen if you're in that kind of world and someone says, hey, come to this amazing island, it's an amazing party and all these big people are going to be there. You might go, okay, yeah, cool, let's go. But then if you started seeing some of that stuff that's going down, I'd like to think that I would come back and say, I've got to tell people about this because that was wrong, and the fact that didn't happen, there's so many people that didn't do that. It's worrying, man. It's kind of scary.
It's very concerning. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're not burning cities down right now is
going crazy,
blowing my mind. But then you could also flip it back on me. Well, you're not doing anything either. I'm not, to be honest with you. I'm not. But I'm also the same person that's not going to burn the city down over somebody getting shot by the cops either. So,
absolutely.
But
yeah.
I mean, I don't really know where we can go from here, to be honest with you. Pam Bondi's like, if we started prosecuting everybody, the whole system would collapse. And I'm like in the mind frame of, well, then let the fucking system collapse then,
Let's start again.
Obviously, we need a huge regime change. And that was the promise that Trump ran on the first time, was drain the swamp, take everybody out of there that's been in there forever. And he didn't do that. And then I'm not sure if he did really have much of a hand in that. I've been reading the files. Like, I'm actually reading. I'm not going by fucking memes and fucking TikTok fucking videos and believing whatever the fuck people say in those.
I'm not reading it. I've read a few bits.
But, fuck, now I forgot what I was going to say because you just made me laugh.
Sorry, man.
No, it's okay.
So you've been reading the files. You said you've been reading the files.
Yeah, so I've been reading them, and oh damn it, I lost my train of thought.
I do that all the time. It's all...
Shit. That's all right. I'll probably come back to it at some point, but yeah, if he had something prosecutable in there, like they must have
Mhm.
found evidence that he didn't really have anything, because the whole time they were trying to they had him on trial when Biden was president. Why didn't they just bring him out then? You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Absolutely, man.
And then everybody's like, "You're okay with having a pedophile as a president," to like people who voted for him and stuff. And then but they were okay with having a pedophile for president before he was president. I'm confused,
Yeah.
because literally in Biden's daughter's diary, she even confirmed it, that he was getting in the shower with her when she was a kid. So
Crazy,
I
bro.
don't know.
It's
I don't
crazy.
know.
But this is what I mean. They're all. It's. I mean, you can't say all politicians are like that, but it seems like, especially the ones near the top, they're just dodgy, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm. And the celebrities, man. The celebrities
oh.
are what are the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, they're not. They're all the worst, technically. I'd love to fucking string them all up, to be honest
Mm-hmm.
with you, and
Mm-hmm.
that includes Trump. To be fucking completely transparent, fuck them, get them all out of there.
Mm-hmm. But like you said, I don't know how that gets resolved now, because it kind of feels like they've stopped talking about it a little bit. Like the mainstream have kind of stopped. I don't know about in the US, but it feels like there was a few weeks where it was getting quite intense, and they're pushing and pushing. And there's a few mentions here and there, but it's not like the outrage that there should be. Like this should be like, we need something done to like. So I've forgotten the guy's name, but in the US, in the UK ambassador in the US was deeply in with Epstein, and the prime minister that we currently now have, Keir Starmer, obviously put him in place to be the ambassador in the US, and he knew, apparently he knew that this connection that he had with Epstein, he knew that he was a big part of what was going down, and the prime minister in the UK has come out and he should be stepping down, after something like that. He should be saying, look, okay, I've got to step down, and he should be face the consequences. But no, it's gone quiet, man, and they're not saying that anymore. It's very strange. We thought he was going to step down. They told us he was. And as I said, I'm not left or right, so it's not about that for me. It's about
Yes, same.
the man, who he is, and he should step down. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, we said we weren't going to get political, brother. I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry. Guys, we're going to talk about ghosts and Bigfoot.
Yeah, you guys were just saying that you don't want to talk about politics, and here we are, fucking 20 minutes in, we're still on it.
Sorry, bro. This is the problem.
No, it's all right. When I get on a tangent, sometimes I can't shut up about it. And I did it with Troubles recently, where he was like,
Troubles is a cool dude.
he also said that he was trying to get away from talking about politics on the show and stuff. And then I just went on a thing about ICE and shit like that. But
I find myself going on X, and like, I love Instagram, I love Facebook, and I do love X, to be fair. I like that it's free speech and stuff like that. But I go on there and I go through, and it's all politics now on my timeline, and I get angry, and then I look at the time I've been on there for like 20-30 minutes, just scrolling and getting angry, and I'm like, I need to stop this. I need to stop this. It's not good. I know we need to know what's going on, but it's just not good for you, man.
No, it's not. Facebook has become like a lot like that. Every time I'm on there, people are talking politics.
Yeah.
One side, it's both sides, and I'm just like, we got to do is get out of the red versus blue brainwash and realize that we're fucking completely missing the plot. Completely missing the plot. They constantly are pitting us against each other. But anyways,
divide and conquer. That's it. Sorry,
it's a mass manipulation. Mass manipulation is what's going on. But yeah. So, anyways, Tommy, out of all the episodes you have done, I'm sure you can't name a favorite, but what out of all your episodes stands out to you the most?
Oh wow, man, that's a difficult one.
And that's a lot of fucking episodes.
That is very difficult. I spoke to Mark Marcel recently, who was the Ape Canyon guy, and I've been a big fan of his work for a long time. And that was quite cool to meet him and to be able to go through the Ape Canyon encounter with someone that knows, so much about the subject. And that was really cool. I also met Ron Moorhead recently, which was like, wow, like, as well. Like, that's the cool thing about this. We get to meet these amazing people as well that you see on TV, and now they're sitting in front of us and we can ask them anything we want to ask them. It's amazing. So they're two recent ones that stand out that were like, well, I mean, I love them all. Don't get, and I love everyone I talk to. Whether I'm talking to someone that's doing a podcast for the first time, which I really love that as well. When I'm talking to someone that's never done a podcast, but they just want to share their experiences. I love, they're like my favorite as well. When it's, they're not really there to for their podcast or whatever. They're just there to talk about their experience and stuff. I love that as well. Episode that stands out, man. There's been a few. Chris from the True Haunting. Did you see that True Haunting on Netflix? There was a docu-series on Netflix called True Haunting. And honestly, it's one of the, I watch a lot of ghost things, obviously, like you do as well. It was one of the best things I've seen for a long time, like documenting a true haunting. And it was this guy called Chris, and he was in upstate New York, and he went through this traumatic experience at his college that he was at. And it wasn't just him, it was his friends as well that were kind of experiencing this haunting as well. And I watched it on Netflix and I was like, this is amazing, man. And this is what's so cool about what we do. I was like, I'm going to reach out to him, let's just see if he wants to come on. And, there's no harm in trying. Like we try with message people all the time. I sent him a message and he got back to me pretty much straight away and said, yeah, he'd love to come on. And I was like, whoa, like this, I've just watched this guy on Netflix. It was like the #1 show in the UK at the time. And I was thinking, man, I'm about to talk to someone that's just been #1 on Netflix. And that was quite a cool moment as well. And then he came on and he was like, would you like to talk to the other guys that were on the show as well? And we'll do like a big podcast together. And I was like, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be amazing. And he kind of got the other guys, and they'd never done a podcast before, so it was like their first podcast. And I was like, "This is amazing, man!" Surreal. Like it was. I said to them, "I feel strange because I've been watching you on Netflix all day, and now we're talking. It's so weird." But so that's another one that really stands out. But honestly, I love them all, man. Like yourself, it's just, I just love talking to people, man. I just love it.
Yeah,
I guess we have to as well.
I say it a lot in on my show, is that whether I have 100 listeners, 1,000 listeners, or one, I'm still going to be doing this, or even 0, to be honest with you, just because I love the conversations that I get to have. And without doing this, there's a lot like it wouldn't really happen. I mean, still could, but to be like, I have a podcast, people are more like, yeah, I'll tell you some stories, instead of just being like, hey, you want to tell me some freaking stories right now?
But I do enjoy that as well. Like if I'm at work and stuff, and like there's the new guy at work, and you get into the conversation about what do you do out of work and stuff, and I do this podcast. What's it about? And I'm like, it's paranormal, Bigfoot, and UFOs and ghosts, and you get that. They look at you like, okay, and then like I ask them straight away, have you experienced anything? And then so often they will have like an incredible experience, and they'll tell me this experience, and I'm like, that's amazing, man. I'm like, do you want to come on the podcast? They're like, no. Okay, but we've just had this like 20-minute conversation, like I would with the podcast, and I just love hearing people's stories, and I could just sit there and listen to people talk. I know it sounds a bit weird, but I just love that, man.
It's a part of I feel like it's a part of being introvert, like growing up introvert, because I grew up introvert and I listen to people talk all the fucking time. And now, especially with the podcast has brought more of an extrovert personality out of me. And I've become so much more comfortable with myself and just my regular life too, where I'm more willing to open up and speak more often. I mean, with my introvert tendencies, I do still like do a little more observing before I speak, but I do speak a lot more than I normally would have, and it's
Mm-hmm.
because of this podcast. And there's a lot of things that have happened to me that have been super positive, and it's been because of this podcast.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever find yourself talking to people in just like a normal scenario at work or whatever, and you start like talking like you're on the podcast? You start asking them questions
Yes,
like you're
yes.
and I think to myself, I'm in like podcast mode. No one's
Mhm.
recording, no one's listening. It's just us, and I'm like
Mhm.
talking like. So what did you feel at that moment? And then it just yeah, I do that quite a lot.
There's one of my coworkers. He noticed I have a huge magnet of my logo on my truck, and he's like, he just walked into the office one day and he's like, I noticed this big magnet on your truck, and I was like, well, I wonder what the hell that is. And he goes, and I looked it up, and he goes, it's pretty good, man. I go, really? You like it? He goes, yeah, it's pretty good. He goes, one of my buddies had an encounter with Bigfoot. And I was like, really? I was like, does he want to come on the podcast? I was like, he might, but then I never heard anything about it after that. But that's totally fine. But yeah, it's really interesting. I think my boss listens to the podcast too. And he's a
That's kind
wicked
of wild.
interesting guy
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
He was one of our first conversations about ghosts. He said, every time my wife and I are looking for a new house or something, or we're gonna go stay somewhere, if it just looks haunted, she doesn't want. And I was like, I don't blame her, because when I experience stuff, like especially when I experience stuff here in this house, I'm like, I gotta burn it down, get the fuck out, So I can totally understand that. What is the Vale feeling like over there in the UK? Because I've been, out of the people I've been talking up to around here, there's seems to be like an uptick in experiences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I would say, funny enough, literally the last couple of weeks, I've noticed some. I feel like I went through a period of not experiencing a lot.
Oh.
So when I started Let's Get Freaky, I started experiencing quite a lot of things, and I think that is just because I say quite a lot on the podcast, when you look into the paranormal, it looks back. I don't think I made that saying up, but that's just something I believe. I think when you're interested in it and you start thinking about it all the time and looking into it, talking about it, you are going to notice things around you that you might not have noticed before, or you're manifesting it, or you're just, because you're thinking about it and you're open to it strongly, you're going to start experiencing some more things. And I feel like when I started Let's Get Freaky, I was noticing a lot and experiencing quite a lot, and it was quite regular. And I was thinking, oh man, this is not great. I shouldn't really be doing this. But I don't enjoy being scared of it. I'm fascinated by it, but I don't actually enjoy experiencing it, even though I've experienced quite a lot. And then we went through a spell. I don't know if I talked about this last time. I don't think I did. But when it was getting to a point where the family, the wife, we was all like experiencing quite a lot of weird stuff in the house, and it was getting quite intense. And it was probably so it was not last year, it was about a year ago, over a year ago now, where it was like, it was getting quite bad. It was getting to the point where the wife was like, you need to stop doing this podcast, because this feeling is there was a feeling in the house, weird stuff happening in the house, and it felt like a spiritual attack. That's exactly how it felt. Kids were seeing stuff, wife was hearing stuff, I was hearing stuff and experiencing stuff. And it was just getting to a worrying stage where it was like, oh man. For me, I'm a Christian. I just turned to praying, and honestly, that's kind of what settled it down for me. That I believe that's, a real intent praying, is what stopped it at the time. But I have noticed that in the last couple of weeks, a few weird things have been happening. Not just to me, to the wife as well, where it's like, oh, it's getting it feels like there's an energy again that, it's hard to explain, but it feels like there's, as you said, the veil is like, it's there again. Like, for example, I think it was last week. It was a day last week where so I'm up late for the night, I basically live on Eastern time. I basically live on US time. So I stay up all through the night recording, and then I go to bed sometimes for 2 hours or an hour, get up again and help the wife in the morning with the kids just to get ready for school for like 20 minutes. Then I go back to bed. And I got back into bed and I was laying there and I don't think I was asleep, but I was like getting there. And I just heard this loud, I can't even really explain what it was. It was just like, it wasn't even a bang, but it was like a loud, I know that noise was weird, but it was just like a really weird, loud noise that kind of alerted me straight away. And it felt like it wasn't in my head. It felt like it was in the room. And I was like, what the heck is that, man? And my heart's going. I was like, nothing's happened weird recently, but that was weird. I was like, I don't know what that was. And then I don't know if it was the same day or the next day, but it was very close to that day. I was in my kitchen and I was just on my cell phone, just looking at my phone, and no one else was in the house apart from my dog. And I've just felt someone walk into my doorway of the kitchen, and I could like sort of see him in the corner of my eye. And I just like looked up, and something was there for like a split second, and then it was gone. I wouldn't say shadow figure because I can't even tell you what it was, what the person was, but for like a split second I saw the outline. Now I know your eyes can play tricks and stuff, and with what we do, we're talking about this stuff all the time. So I try and be a little bit more skeptical myself, because I used to just jump straight to the paranormal. I'd be like, yeah, I saw a ghost in the doorway. Now I'm like trying to be like, okay, no, I not imagining it. I don't know, but I don't know what it was, man. It was very strange, and I've not experienced a lot of weird stuff for a little while, and that's quite recent. And then this past weekend, we've just been away in like a cabin in the woods in the UK.
Nice.
And it's not a spooky place. It's just a big forest with cabins in.
Mm-hmm.
And we were staying in this cabin, and we've stayed in other cabins before in the same place and in other places in the UK. And you do sometimes get weird noises, obviously, in cabins because they're creaking and stuff, and it's, you're in the middle of a forest, so there's wind and stuff. But this one felt quite weird, and there was weird noises all through the night, every night. And one morning, my little girl was running in our room, and she's 14 now, so she's getting a little bit more. She's obviously she's older, she's understanding things a little bit more. I still don't talk to her about paranormal stuff. I still try and protect her from that. But she's run into our room, and she had her own room. She was sharing with my daughter, but my other daughter had gone into another room. We had loads of rooms in this cabin, but so she was on her own, and she ran in and she went, "Daddy, I heard something very strange." And she said she wasn't asleep. She heard someone go in this kind of voice, "Happy birthday," really loud, like quite loud, and it was my daughter's birthday, like the next day. My other daughter's birthday. I know. It's so weird, man. And I was like, are you like, you definitely heard that? And I'm obviously trying to calm her down and, say you could be sleeping and stuff. But she's adamant that she's quite, Amy, my eldest daughter, was quite open to that kind of thing. Like, she seems to have had quite a few experiences when she was little. She'll probably be doing a paranormal podcast one day. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Or investigating.
Or investigating, yeah. So yeah, I know I've gone long-winded there, but yeah. So that's wild. That's recent. That's very recent.
I don't know how I would react if I was just in a room by myself and a voice just went, "Happy birthday."
I know, it's weird.
Dude, I would have been like, "Burn it down."
And she said
it's a positive affirmating word. It's like, I want to celebrate with you, you know what I mean? But still, at the same time, it's very uneasy.
It's weird, man. It's weird. And the way she said it, she was like, it said, "Happy birthday." She did that kind of voice, and I was like, whoa. Because I know we do paranormal podcasts, but I try not to. They don't listen to Let's Get Freaky. I don't let them listen to the show. It is an adult show. I know kids do listen. I do know kids that listen, but I don't talk to her about this kind of stuff, you know. I know they might hear a few things, and if they come in this room, they're going to see some weird stuff. But other than that, I don't like encourage them to be interested in the paranormal, basically. So,
Yeah.
but there's been so much weird stuff happening. Did I tell you about when my son and my middle daughter saw something very strange? Did I tell you that last time? Don't think I did.
No, I don't think you did. I think the last time you were on, you talked about how your podcast room was their bedroom at one point, but
Yes.
there was some stuff happening in that room. I know you talked about that, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you talked about what you're referencing right now.
So this room was their bedroom originally, and they were having terrible sleeps in here. They were seeing things, and you know they just were not comfortable in here. So I moved them to another room. And I was like, I'll have that as my studio. It'd be perfect. I'll have the freaky room as my podcast room. But some weird stuff does happen in here every now and again. Like there was one night where I was in here and I heard like very loud tapping, and it sounded like something had fallen and was bouncing. It was like really loud, and I'm like trying to work out what it is. I've got a lot of stuff in here, but there was nothing. There was nothing moving. I was like, that was weird. But this weird thing happened when we was going through the spell of a lot of high strangeness in the house. Like the wife was hearing weird things. She heard me whilst I was at work. She heard me call her name out. So I call my wife Treek. That's not her name. Her name's Lois, but I call her Treek. It's like I'm the only person that calls her that. It's like a little nickname. And she was in one of the rooms and she heard me go, Treek. And she said she just like, she knew I was at work. She was like, what is going on? So that was weird. But so there was one night where all the girls were having like a little girls' night in the front room. They were like watching girly films and they said they were going to sleep in the front room. So me and Fred, my boy, and he would have only been 4 or 5 at the time. He was in my room. So he was in my bed. He was asleep. And I was laying there in my bed. And I had the hallway light on. Because I think I told you before, if the wife's not in my room, I can't sleep in the dark. Even if I know that sounds very sad, but I can't sleep in the dark. If my wife's there, I'm like, okay, I'll sleep in the dark. If she's not, I'll have a light. And I know it's very sad, but it's too late now. I've said it.
That's not sad. That's not sad.
I've seen too much weird stuff.
I think that just lends credence to how safe you feel when you're with your wife.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. But it's literally because I think I've seen so much weird stuff. I just can't, I'm not comfortable laying in the dark. I just feel like there's something there. So I either have the telly on or a light on, or I'm listening to a podcast and I'm just trying to chill. But this specific night I had the hallway light on. And so I'm like trying to sleep. I'm laying there and my son woke up and he kind of pointed to the door. And he went, oh boy. Amy's just walked past. Amy's my eldest daughter. And I was like, okay, all right, Fred, you lay down, mate. It's okay. I'll go and check, make sure she's all right. I knew Amy hadn't walked past. I was like, what the heck? So I've gone into Amy's room. She's not there. She's still downstairs. They're still having the girls' night. I was like, whoa, what is that? I went, Fred, he was still awake. I said, what'd you see, mate? What was it? He said, Amy walked past and he said, she was all brown. That was his words. Oh, he's only little. Like he might be, again, he could be in a dream and then just confused. Yeah. But it was enough for me to be like, right, we're going downstairs. We're going to join the girls' party. I'm not staying up here on my own. So we went downstairs that night and we all ended up sleeping downstairs. Didn't tell any of the kids about this. I didn't say to my other daughters, oh, Fred saw something. Anyway, that same week, I think it was like the Tuesday or Wednesday that week, I get home from work at 1 o'clock in the morning UK time. So the street's very quiet. Everyone's asleep. There's no one up. And my house lights are always off when I'm walking towards my house. And the house lights are on. And I was like, oh, this is weird. Strange. I've opened the front door and Ruby, my middle daughter, is sitting at the top of the stairs. And I said, Ruby, what's the matter? And she went, oh, Mummy said I can sleep in your room tonight. I'm just letting you know I'm sleeping in your room tonight. And she said exactly the same thing as Fred. She went, I saw Amy walk past exactly the same spot that Fred would have seen Amy walk past, and it freaked her out so much that she was like not sleeping, and she was up, and she wanted to sleep in our room. And I went, yeah, of course you can go in our room that night, and she stayed in our room. And I was like, so they both seen the same thing in the same spot. Amy and Ruby was a little bit more knowing, so she knew it kind of wasn't Amy because Amy was in her room. So they've both seen something in this area of my house. Very strange. So I don't know if it was a few weeks later or a little while after that. I've got like these cameras that kind of look outside. And if someone walks past, we get notified that there's someone walking past. So we were going away one weekend and I decided to leave a camera in the area that they had seen. They say Amy, but people have said, is it like a doppelganger? Like what? I don't know what it is, but so I've left the camera in this area, and the camera only notifies you when someone walks past. So you'll get a message on your phone saying detection. So literally 10 minutes after leaving to go away, detection, it's come up on the phone. We're like, oh 10 minutes we're gone. And literally it's just down the hallway where they would have seen the same thing. And we're looking nothing was coming up. So there was nothing there. It was just telling us that there was something there. Honestly, we had to turn it off because it was just constant. Every 10 minutes, detection. You can go onto the camera and watch. You can watch it live. Yeah. Nothing there. I was watching it for a little bit. Nothing there. Turned it off. Detection. I'm looking. There wasn't even no bugs. I don't think bugs can set it off anyway. I'm not sure. Maybe they can, but it was very weird, man. And there was a lot of weird stuff like that going on. So that was
holy cow,
and then
dude.
There was another night, and this is when my wife said,
mine is right now. Go ahead.
This is when my wife said to me, "You've got to stop doing the podcast." So we was downstairs, me and her, watching some Love Island show on Netflix, and we're watching this show. Kids are in bed, everyone's asleep. It's just me and her watching this show, and it sounds mad, but we're watching this show, and all of a sudden we both heard it filled up the room. It sounded like a cartoon ghost. It went, oh, like that, and we both looked at each other like, what was that? What was that? Stop the show that we're watching. We're like, what the heck was that? And we were both a little bit shocked. It was so loud. So I've checked the kids. It wasn't the kids, man. We knew it was in the room. It was so loud. It wasn't anything that we know. We put the show back. We rewound the show just to see if it was in the show. It wasn't. Oh, that's when the wife said, she went, "You've got to stop doing this podcast. This is so weird." And that was when I really was like, okay, this is quite worrying now. I like paranormal. Yeah. I like paranormal, but it wasn't just that. It was the dark feeling as well. There was a negative vibe to when this stuff was happening. It wasn't it's we're getting some activity. This was I was like, nah, this is not good. So I really started praying out loud every day with, I would say, real intent. You're not welcome and stuff like this. And that seemingly worked. I stick to it. I still do it. I still pray quite a lot. But yeah, man, it got weird. I wasn't going to quit the podcast though. That's for sure. I said to her at the time, no, I can't quit the podcast. Yeah. So yeah, man. Quite wow. But it felt like an attack. That's how I can describe it. It felt like some sort of spiritual attack.
Like it was trying to get you off guard and afraid.
I feel like it's trying to bring us down.
Yeah, a poltergeist gets stronger off of fear. And that's the same thing with everything, with demons or what we think are demons and all these negative entities. The more afraid you are, the more activity you're gonna get. And that can go right into the government with the adrenochrome and the Epstein stuff. But just kidding.
To Epstein.
But no,
it's true. Yeah.
So all this stuff feeds off of fear. So the more afraid you are, the more active it's gonna be.
Well, that's what you hear. You hear when you talk to people that have intense hauntings. It
Yeah.
kind of starts off small, little things are happening. Then you give it some fear, a little bit more happens, a little bit more fear, more happens, and sometimes these things can get out of hand, as you know, when you talk to people about this stuff. And
Yes.
that's how it started to feel, man. It started to feel negative, like it wasn't good, and I was like, oh, this has got to stop, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you. Do you have like anointment? This is one of when you were talking at first before you got into the last like two stories. I was curious. Have you come across anything in the house that was there before you moved in?
Um, I don't think so. I don't think so. We did find, like, I know it's a sick joke, but we say that because the people that lived in the house before us kind of went to America and disappeared. Like they
Uh-huh.
went to America and they kind of disappeared. Basically, we get
Not
their
heard
mail.
from?
Not heard. Well, I mean, I don't know now, but we get their mail still every day, you know, and they're still on the run seemingly because there's like debt collectors trying to find them and stuff. And you know, I had someone knocking not long ago saying, "Is Mister So and So still here?" And I was like, "No, he's not lived here for 4 years. You know, he's I don't know where he is." And they were like, "Okay, we'll put it in our system." So I don't know where they've gone. We found like a part of a black bag buried in between in our grass outside in the
Uh-huh.
yard, and we like say, "Oh, I wonder if they're under the ground." I mean, I know that's kind of a sick joke, but
Oh yeah.
but you know, hopefully not, obviously. But yeah, no, we've not found any strange. No, I wouldn't say so. It's not an old. It was built in the 80s. This house, so it's not a super old house. But we are
Right.
near a forest that's got a lot of spooky stuff going on, and you know, I think everywhere's haunted. To be honest, I feel like there is.
Yeah, there's so many life and death experiences on every piece of land.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah.
Throughout, the earth is so many years old. There's no way that, something there that something didn't happen, especially in the UK where there's been people forever,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. He's the
Maybe
big.
I was just like the last episode that I just did was with a couple out in Arizona, and they were talking a lot about history about this one particular town out there, and I was like, I went to Arizona a couple of years ago, and I was driving into this town, and it literally, like, the sign said established like 1960 something. Um, and they were like, one of the guys was like, "What?" And the wife is from New England, like I am. So she's from Rhode Island originally. And she's like, "Yeah, that's what I've been trying to explain to you." I was like, "'Cause up here, everything is like 1600, 1500, 1700, blah, 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 blah."
Mhm.
Um, and then when I saw 1962, I think it was, and I can't remember the name of the town. It might have been 67. I don't know. But I was like, "What in the world?" That's crazy to me. So, like, I mean, there was definitely people there at one point. It's just that the town established itself.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is that, like, just because something is established at a certain point in time doesn't mean there wasn't anything there before. I mean,
Yeah,
we can get
absolutely.
into the Tartaria thing, the mud floods and stuff like that.
Mhm.
There was people before Christ,
Mhm.
so like it's just I don't know. There's so much history in the land, in our earth is energetic. I can feel it when my shoes are off, when my feet are in
Mhm.
the grass. I can
Mhm.
feel a connection there. There's something about it. So to say that just because a house is brand new means it's not haunted it doesn't make sense to me.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I'm the same, man. I'm the same. And even in the forest, you walk in the forest sometimes, and you get like a feeling of, oh, you know, there feels like there's something here. It doesn't have to be in the
Yeah,
house, you know, it's everywhere. I think there's things going on around us all the time that we just sometimes get a
absolutely.
glimpse of, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I
People
think
say, "How old's your house?" But as you say, that doesn't really. Yeah, what was here before, you know. So
yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah. Well, did you? So when you moved into that house 4 years ago, did you like start off having experiences, or was there like um uh like a certain amount of time before anything started happening?
It pretty That was pretty quick because I started the podcast quite quick after being here.
Yeah.
There was weird stuff going on. Did I tell you about
Okay.
the growling outside?
Yep. Yeah, you told me about that.
I can't say that that's definitely paranormal, but that was strange.
Hmm.
But yeah, so there's always been like, I wouldn't say I always get a negative feeling here. The house that we looked at, so the house we went to before we bought this house, we looked at it and on paper it was perfect. It was right close
Hmm.
to where my wife was working. It would have been like an easier location for her for sure, 100%. But we went into this house, and honestly, it was like on paper it was perfect. It was all new. It looked great, but we all got a weird vibe from it. We all was like, there's something not right. You know, there's
Hmm.
something didn't feel right, and we was like, okay, no, we'll carry on looking. And then we came to this one, and you put the two houses together. That might have been slightly better, maybe, but we just got a nice feeling from this house. So there wasn't like and there's still not. I that spell we went through where it was getting kind of strange and it was negative. That's not always. It's not always been like that, you know.
Mm.
And I'm trying to stay on it now. I'm praying a lot, and for me that works. And hopefully that's. I know I've had some weird stuff happen in the last couple of weeks, but I'm hoping it doesn't get like that again, man.
Yeah. It could also be somebody with bad intentions that just are calling things, like I don't know, you could call them a witch or whatever, or something like that. Maybe
Hmm.
somebody was on your show or somebody listens to your show and they're like, you
Yeah,
know what? They decided that they don't like you.
yeah, yeah. Which is someone did mention that to me. Someone did say to
Really?
me, "Yeah." So I won't say it was because they kind of said it in confidence, and they said that they'd known other podcasters that had had a similar thing happen.
Uh-huh.
So basically, they were saying that this might not be this might be someone that's like attacking you spiritually. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
okay. And they had known other people that had experienced the same kind of thing. Podcasters, you know, we put ourselves out there. I mean, I love all our listeners. We love all our listeners, of course, you know, but
Mhm.
you are going to get some people that listen that probably don't like you sometimes and maybe think, oh, they might listen to one show and think, oh, this guy sucks, you know, or you might say something that they really don't like. And, you know, you never know. You're always going to offend someone, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it was that. It did feel like an attack. I would say it did feel like a wave of something. There was another
Yeah.
really weird thing that happened. So there was a lot of weird stuff, but there was it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would just finished recording or editing or something like that,
Yeah.
and I just finished, and my dog he sleeps all through the night. You know, he's good as gold. I like to think if someone got in the house, he would pipe up. I think he would. I think he'd get. You know, he'd let us know, obviously. He just started going mad. He just started barking at something, and he's like in a cage down the hallway. He's got a nice cage that he stays in, and he sleeps better than all the kids. Like he'll get in his cage at night and he'll stay in there all night, and you won't hear a peep, and he's perfect. But he just started going mad one night, and I just finished whatever I was doing, and I was like, "That's weird. What's he going crazy about?" So I've gone out, and the lights are all on downstairs, and I probably did leave the lights on downstairs, but I could hear as if there was people downstairs moving stuff around. It was so loud. Like there was movement. I checked my wife. She's in bed. The kids are in bed. In my mind, I'm thinking, right, we are being burgled. Like there are intruders in the house. That is exactly how it sounded. It was so loud. So I was like, got my dog out the cage. I went, right, boy, it's time to go. We got to protect the house now, man. It's me and you, buddy. And my dog's a little Staffy, like your dog, little blue Staffy. And I picked up something and we're ready to go. And we both run down the stairs, and I'm fully expecting to see like a couple of guys robbing me. Honestly, that's how loud it was. It was literally moving stuff around. That's how it sounded. Ran downstairs, no one there. Nothing was moved. You know, I checked all the windows, the doors, everything was locked. I was like, what the heck was that? It was so loud. It was like it sounded like they were dragging tables around and stuff. Honestly, it was like, what the heck? I'm thinking they're taking my TV and stuff. Like, I'm gearing up for a battle. And the dog's going mad, so he's hearing it as well. It was very strange. That was around the same kind of time where it was getting intense.
Yeah. Holy cow, man. I've had a few scares in the shower in this house.
Oh, mate, I always feel vulnerable in the shower.
Oh my God, yeah. Where I hear it sounds like somebody has come into my house sometimes. So, like, especially before Allie and the baby moved into the house. Before Allie moved into the house, and then the baby came. But like when I was here, I'd get home from work and I'd get in the shower. It sounded like somebody just opened the door and came inside. So I would say hello sometimes. Sometimes I wouldn't say anything, and I would just get out of the shower and freaking like run out of the bathroom real quick just to look. And every time nobody was there. And then there's other times where I'll have my back to the opening of the shower where the curtain is and stuff, and I'm looking at the wall, and it looks like a shadow goes across the wall. And then I turn around because I can see through my my curtains. Like, you can't see into the shower, but I can see out of it. And there's never anything there. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And then I'm just like, well, maybe just the heat from the heater or something like that, like it, or maybe there's a draft in the window and it blew the curtain on the window that's right there, and it moved and it made it like a shadow. And then there's other times where it seems like somebody is right outside the bathroom having a conversation. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? It wasn't all the time. It was me every once in a while. And now, since Allie's been in the house, I do see the shadow still, where it looks like it's like I said, it could be the curtain moving, and the light from the window is, when the curtain moves, it looks like a shadow just walk by the tub, the shower. But other than that, man.
When you're in the shower, you feel so vulnerable. Like, because obviously the horror movies, the classic horror movies, when they creep up on the person in the shower. Yeah. I always lock the bathroom door.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that my freaking my door jamb got messed up, so my door is not existing. So
I thought it was something else weird that happened as well during that time. So it was during the night. I was asleep actually, and I woke up, and my wife was like sitting up crying.
Oh no!
Well, that's what I thought. So I woke up and I've seen what I thought was my wife sitting up crying. Like, she's kind of like that. Obviously, I'm just seeing it as like the shape.
Oh yeah.
And I got up and I was like, "You okay? What's the matter?" Just put my hand on her back to like say, "Are you okay?" I'm thinking she's got a headache or something, or I don't know. And I'm like, gone to like rub her back, and I can see her. Like, I can see the shape of her, and I've like gone through her, looked down, and she's sound asleep. And I remember it was weird because I was like, I'm just gonna go back to sleep. Yeah, I was freaked out. I was so freaked out, but I was like, I'm just going to go back to sleep. And the lights were off that night as well because she was there. But I was like, what the heck was that? And at the time I was like, okay, maybe I've woken up and I have woke up to like the shape of people standing there. That's happened a few times. And it's the scariest, like when you wake up and there's just someone there. Even when you wake up and your kid's standing there, it's scary. Like, you're like, whoa, that second. When you wake up and you see the shape of someone there, it's happened a few times in my life, and it is terrifying. As you know, you've experienced that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And that was another very strange moment. And that was another, because obviously when you talk about this kind of stuff, people listening sometimes say, oh, it could be this or it could be that. And you're like, yeah, it could be that. And people have said it sounds kind of like a doppelganger.
Yep.
Because obviously you got my
Your
two kids,
voice.
my voice, the two kids seeing my eldest daughter, me seeing my wife laying in bed. That was, yeah, very strange, brother.
That is strange. I don't think I've ever had an experience where I've reached out to somebody and my hand has gone through them.
Yeah.
That would drive me crazy. Man.
That was so weird. I just
I'm
looked down.
surprised you haven't burnt down your house, to be honest with you.
Like touch wood, recently it's been okay. As I say, the last
Yeah.
couple of weird things, but I don't need to experience any more paranormal. Like, I know it's real, you know. I don't need to experience any more.
Give experiences to somebody else.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'd like to see Bigfoot. That's still one of my. That's what I want to see, a Bigfoot. But other than that, you've seen a Bigfoot now.
Yeah.
Is this when you went on the? You went on a recent trip with. Yes.
Has
that been released yet?
No.
Okay. I didn't know you actually saw one. I know you was hearing one and oh
Yeah.
wow.
So Harley Owens, he had a thermal camera and he was like, we're all trying to be quiet, and all of a sudden he's like, oh shit, and we're all like, dude, shut the fuck up. And he's like, there's two of them. And then Riley from Midwest Mythos looks in the camera and he goes, yeah, it's there. And then I looked in and I could see a head and shoulders behind a bush, and I was just like, whoa, dude, what the hell? And then we ran over to where it was. We all turned our lights on. Nothing's there, which makes me think more that either a interdimensional or a spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A spirit that can sometimes manifest itself into being physical.
Bro, because I had Riley on the podcast and he was telling me about this, but he couldn't tell me too much because obviously you've documented it and you've not put it out yet. So he was like telling me little bits, and I was like, wow, this sounds amazing. I didn't know you actually saw one. That's cool, bro.
Yeah, the three of us all saw it through thermal. And crazy little tidbit is that fucking camera didn't record it.
How often do you hear that?
All the time, right? Because we were recording and then we went over the footage and it's nothing's there.
Yeah. That happens so often. You hear that so often. It's like when people are investigating like haunted homes. Yeah. Like they say that the camera's been drained and it's a fully charged battery. Something, yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah, it's just like when I went to the Conjuring house and I investigated at the Conjuring house, my my camcorder fucking died. Like within like an hour, and it was fully charged, and I didn't really use it that much yet. And I went to turn it on to record, and it just like died as in the middle of like recording for after like 5 minutes. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and you hear that so often. Like every paranormal investigator will tell you that that's happened, and there's got to be something to it, man. Whether these things are like using the energy from it or I don't know, but it happens so often, and it happens whether you're looking for Bigfoot, whether you're looking for UFOs, whether you're looking for ghosts. It seems to be similar kind of things happening.
Yeah, I thought. Well, that's what I think. Why the Bridgewater Triangle is so fucking active is because they have the big transmission, electrical wires on the big fucking poles or whatever you want to call them. The metal structures and shit, and they have them all through the freaking, like, there's wires that go through the Hookamuck Swamp and stuff like that in Massachusetts. That's why I think there's something there already, and then adding those high voltage electrical wires just amplified it, and I think that's why people have so many crazy experiences out there.
Interesting. Yeah, man.
everything's on a frequency of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
to think that the paranormal wouldn't be is crazy to me. I mean,
Absolutely.
obviously we see so much evidence to their electrical abilities. I mean, draining equipment, to the communicating through spirit boxes and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
The EVP, not the EVP, there's a little there's a little God damn it, what is EMF detector? There we go.
Yes, man. Yeah,
And then the
yeah.
like cat balls and stuff, motion detectors, like they
Mm-hmm.
interact with that. So
Mm-hmm.
that tells me that there's an electrical current to them,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah. I mean, you sometimes get weird stuff happening when you're recording. Stuff that kind of. I know internet does kind of mess up sometimes. It's never.
Yeah.
Sometimes things can happen, but then just sometimes there's times where weird stuff happens, and you're like, that's very strange. It seems like something's doing that. It's very weird,
Well, it's
man.
just like the first time I had Ron on,
Yeah, yeah,
where there was other voices coming through the recording.
yeah.
That was the coolest thing to me.
Yeah, man. That's kind of how
To
we
be
connected at first, wasn't it? That's how
Yes.
because the same thing happened with me and Ron as well. Like it was very strange, man. You was hearing other noises, and you're going, Ron, is that you? Is there someone else in the house? And he's like, no, there's no one. Very weird.
It is very weird. Have you, I don't know, have you looked into the history of around your house at all? Like, it, I mean, your house was built in the 80s, but doesn't mean like the area doesn't have more history.
Yeah, well, I found out that this was all a part of the forest just
Yeah,
before it was built. So this was a part of, I
the
call it
Dog Man
the
Forest.
devil dog forest, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of it's the devil dog law is there, but I kind of
Yeah.
call it the devil dog forest, and a lot of weird stuff's happening there that I can't really explain. And maybe it's something to do with that. Maybe it's this whole area.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think weird stuff like that is everywhere. To be honest, I really do. I think
Yes.
every forest, every house, everywhere, every part of the world, I think there is the potential for high strangeness. I think this stuff is like intertwined with us.
Yeah.
And every now and again we get a glimpse, we might hear something, we might feel something. But I think ultimately, if you're open to it, you're going to sometimes get snippets. And when you talk to mediums that are always seeing this kind of stuff, maybe they're just on another level. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why some people can and some people can't. But I think it's something to do with being open to it. I think that's one of the main things. Like if you believe what you've experienced, you're probably going to have more experiences. These guys that have a wild experience, but then kind of put it to the back of their mind and kind of make sense of it in their mind, may never have another experience because, they've shut it off. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. That's
But I don't
interesting.
know the history of the house really, other than the people that lived here before. I know that they kind of went AWOL and went missing. I was talking to a medium once, and then after we finished, he kind of said that there's a spirit of a young lady in your hallway, which was kind of weird because of what
Yeah.
my kids had seen. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
okay, that's interesting. He said she's not a bad spirit, but she's there and she's been there for a long time. But yeah, other than that, I don't really know.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's interesting. That's very, very interesting.
it's a very weird world.
Very, very freaky.
Freaky. It is freaky.
My house was built in the 40s, and you can
Oh
tell
wow.
because there's a lot of additions that have been done to this. There's 3 different types, because I'm in the basement right now. There's 3 different types of foundations.
Oh wow, man.
So it's like you can tell the part that was put down in the 40s. You can tell the part that was probably maybe 60s, 70s, and then you can tell the part that was probably more recent.
Oh, okay. You like
It's really weird.
different textures, different look, or
Yeah, like some of it's cinder block, some of it's rocks, and then some of it's just straight up cement.
Oh, that sounds cool, man.
That's weird. Um, man. So I know I ask you this every time that you're on, but are you finding fulfillment in doing this podcast?
Yeah. Yeah, I really am. I really love it. Like you said earlier, it's not even about who, like the number of listens. I don't even look really too much into that. I do. Obviously, you see it. You know, you see who's
Right.
listening. You see, you know. But it's never really been about that. It is great. It's great to see that people are listening, of course. But
Uh,
I just love having these conversations, man. And I know meeting people like you and just building these connections. Like my favorite people now are podcast people. You know, that's like
Same.
my world. I can't imagine not having these connections.
Hmm.
And for me, it's so special. And it's I can't imagine not doing it. I can't imagine not doing it, man. It's I feel like everyone should have a podcast. I feel like everyone should do this, you know, because everyone can do it, you know, anyone can do a podcast. And I feel like it's a really good thing to do. You know, you have these amazing conversations. Oh, my Siri's just come up.
Uh-oh. There's a ghost in the
Oh, it's
room.
gone. Oh, that's weird. Did I
Dude,
say Siri?
No, I don't think so. I might have to play that back and see if you did, and I'll let you know. You might have made a sound that sounded like it, maybe,
Yeah.
while you were talking. But I know I've had my Siri come on randomly through while recording. It hasn't happened to me in a long time, but it has happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's one time, you might be familiar with them, the Lights at Midnight girls, Chastity and Emily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they were on the podcast at one point, and we're in the middle of a conversation, and my Siri frickin' pops up, the circle, the orb thing, and I'm just like, what the hell? And then it stops, and it shows me the caption, and it says, that wasn't very nice. And I was like, what?
Ooh, that's weird.
Right then, that like she's literally talking about the Annabelle doll.
Oh
I said
man.
I said Annie, but I meant Annabelle.
Yeah. See? That's weird,
So
man.
yeah, it's very weird. It's very freaky.
It is freaky. I hate it when the Siri comes up. It does because I can't hear you for that moment. I'm like, oh, get off Siri.
Yeah, yeah.
It's freaky,
man,
man.
Tommy, if you don't mind, letting everybody know where they can find you and your podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, brother. So we are wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. Also put the episodes on YouTube as well, so you can check us out on YouTube. Let's Get Freaky. You'll see my little ginger cartoon face with a ghost, a UFO, and a Bigfoot, of course. And yeah, man, wherever you get your podcasts. And we're also on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X, on all the social medias. Yeah, come get freaky, man.
Dope.
But thank
dope.
you so much, brother, for having me back. It's always an honor. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for blowing my mind with these new stories. Now I have something like serious to think about, because those are some freaking crazy stories.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not like physically imposing or anything, but they're still like strange enough to be uneasy. And I really hope that it doesn't happen to you again. And I really hope that,
Thank you, man.
praying, I'm gonna pray for you too.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. But yeah, man, I was not expecting you to have all of these new experiences tonight. I thought we were just gonna kind of like riff tonight, and the fact that I'm like, oh my God, these are some crazy stories. But yeah, every time I get a chance to talk to you, it always turns out to be amazing. And I really appreciate you for for lending your time. Because time is our greatest currency. We were just talking about it in the beginning. The time seems to be going by so quickly, and the fact that you were so willing to sit down with me for this hour or
time,
so.
brother. Honestly, any time. I want to get you back on Let's Get Freaky soon as well.
Absolutely, I'm down. I'm down to drizzown. Anyway, so real quick for the listeners, please like, follow, share, subscribe, leave a rating and review. If your podcatcher does not allow you to leave a review, please consider doing so on the website. It is on the contact page. It is where the weird ones are podcast.com. That is also where you can get some merch like the shirt behind me, but I have a ton of other designs. As well as hot sauce, coffee, supplements, and you can check out some of my blog stories too. Yeah, so I think that's about all. Also, if you want to be on the show, hit me up at wheretheweirdonesare@gmail.com. And if you want to be on Tommy's show, Tommy, tell him what the email is.
Yeah, so you can email letsgetfreakypodcast@mail.com. Not Gmail, just mail. letsgetfreakypodcast@mail.com. Or you can message on Instagram, Facebook, X. You can DM me on there as well if you want to come on. So yeah, man.
Dope. All right, guys. Again, thanks, Tommy, for giving us some of your time. And
Thank you,
everybody
brother.
else, you know the drill. Question everything and stay weird.
In the quiet of the night, when the world feels far, there's a voice through the static, like a falling star. It calls the misfits, the dreamers, the ones who see the shadows in the corners, the truth we barely believe. From the pine tree woods to the desert skies, they talk of ghosts and aliens with wonder in their eyes, not afraid to ask the questions that others won't dare, 'cause the world gets strange when you stop and stare. Come gather around where the weird ones are, by the fireside glow or a midnight call, where the stories run deep and the secrets fly like owls in the dark or stars in the sky. If you've ever felt lost, like you don't belong, you found your place, you found your song, right here where the weird ones are. They'll talk of cryptids, time slips, and deja vu, of spirits that linger, and what might be true. But more than the monsters, it's the people you'll find who dare to be open with curious minds. It's not about fear, it's the thrill of the ride, to question the world with wonder as guide. So pull up a chair, let your freak flag fly, we're the seekers of truth beneath the sky. Yeah, come gather around where the weird ones are, on the moonlit thoughts and cosmic scars, where the veil feels thin and the questions burn, and we chase the strange at every turn. You're not alone, not in the dark, you're with the tribe. You found the spark right here where the weird ones are. For the ones who wonder, for the ones who know, welcome home.